I thought that my mom's passing would make me less nervous, but it's not the case. So I'm gonna do my best here. I wrote a brief story about her because I think, like, commemorating her.
Speaking to the mic.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Also, nobody heard any of that. I'll repeat.
Can you start over?
Okay, I'm starting from the beginning.
That's good.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best here. And I wore the glasses so that you don't see my tears because I may cry, but I'll do my best.
It's okay.
In September of 2018, my mom dragged me to a remote. Can you guys hear me better now?
That's better.
Okay, that's tough. A remote residence in LaConner, Washington, for a weekend with her favorite three principles gurus, the Pranskys. If you knew anything about my mom, you knew that she, like, devoted these people. I really value the opportunity to work with some of her favorite mentors, and I thought that it would be a good chance for me to really get grounded and practice mindfulness. But frankly, I mostly went because my mom had a knack for guilt tripping me into submission. At worst, I thought that it'd be, a lovely, restful weekend with my mom. On September 12th, according to my journals, I did a lot of journaling that weekend in this, like, remote location where there was no one. She and we strolled on a riverbank and chatted about the experience and life, and I noted the beauty of the landscape, but I'd forgotten a pencil to draw it all. So we stumbled into a lonesome bookstore where my mom didn't hesitate to open up a conversation with the owner of the bookstore to ask if she could borrow a pencil for her son to draw with.
Of course she did.
Which, of course, is a testament to how much she cared for us and would do anything for us to make us happy. And she very quickly, as was always the case with my mom, struck up a conversation with the bookstore owner, and they bonded over Brooklyn and bagels with lox. She loved bagels with lox. And being the supportive force that she was, she offered to buy a book, not because she loved to read, but because she wanted to support her new friend in the sad little bookstore on the corner in LaConner. And she offered the owner some thoughtful advice, and she said that she would introduce her to the mentors of the program so that they could advertise the bookstore at those conferences that were so, like, kind of heavily attended, and she could get more people to come through the bookstore, and she did so so happily and so willingly. And it was really a testament to the fact that she really cared about everybody around her always, whether she just met them or it was someone that was in her life forever. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? Okay, cool. And let's see. She cared more than anybody, I think, that I'll ever know. And in her last days, laying at her bedside, I finally got the chance to finish that book. And there was one line in particular that stood out to me. This character named Rostov, I really fell in love with the guy. He says, "I think of how few memories I have of my mother and how they seem to be fading. Every day that passes, it seems a little more of her was slipping away, and I begin to fear that one day I will come to forget her altogether. But the truth is that no matter how much time passes, those that we have loved never slip away entirely. And my mom will never fade from my memory, and I'll wear my love for her like the rhinestone glasses that she never took off, despite my very well-intentioned advice that they were way too ratchet for her. And I'll never forget how she could find anything, and I mean anything, at a garage sale. I'll never forget how she selflessly whipped up dipping eggs for me before sending me to that private fancy school that she negotiated my entrance into. I'll never forget how I could tell her anything and she would never judge me, except for my singing voice, which she jokingly described as the noise that a dying cow might make. The last thing I'll say is I had this picturesque vision of how her death would go. I envisioned it staring at me and my brother and my dad. I can't look at people crying or else that would make me cry. Staring at me and my brother and my dad, she would whisper that she loves us and tell us how proud of us she is, and I envisioned her voice slowly fading into the background, and I imagine her last words would be, "I love you more." And that was a phrase that I took for granted as a kid and learned to love as I grew closer to her through adulthood. But sadly, death never really goes the way that you want it to. It's painful and it's not picturesque, and it's really challenging watching someone that you love deteriorate. But the beauty of the memories that we share together is that she knew how much we loved her, and we knew how much she loved us, and the last words will always ring true to me. So Mom, I'll say it once more, I love you more.